Hello everyone, SpeeDMan here, and we have returned with part 7 of our Let's Learn Civilization 6 Germany run. So, where we last left off, we had just recently picked up the Santa Cruz Great Admiral, which is a very powerful one, might I add. One that can form an armada out of any naval unit, and guess what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and get this guy upgraded to an armada. Why not add another 15 combat strength on top of what he's got? Make this guy a super tank. Oh, wow. It's a lot of damage. Well, let's go ahead and just block the attack here. Just weaken this guy. Take him out as quickly as possible. And you, my friend, you are now a newly minted armada. 72 combat strength. So we have the power of everything. I mean, a 72 combat strength unit is definitely no small feat. So let's bring him on down, and let's go ahead and see what kind of damage we can do with this guy. Try to clear out some of these other barbs in the region. So we're in a pretty good spot here. We're just going to keep getting units set up and sent over, the more of these settlers that we can get. The goal for this episode is to try to get another settlement set up here. And then likely we'll probably consider, a settlement around here. So we have options. City here is okay. This would be pretty decent. I may have to consider a city on this north tile. So once I settle around here, it's going to be a little trickier. So the cities are going to be on the south end, and I might have to consider probably a city that's set up like around here, somewhere further away from this stuff. But this may actually be blocking it. So we'll go on the north and we'll go on the south here because it'll have a better tile fertility. And then we'll consider probably getting, maybe moving this city up to here. That way we can take advantage of extremely high food yield tiles. And we can put down, a decent harbor here. We put down a good campus. Have some good options, campus or a Hansa here with this setup here. So we can go Hansa, harbor. That way we get some good adjacencies. With this city, we'll probably want to think about, putting down another Hansa here. And then a commercial hub, since we're next to a river. That'll boost those up nice and heavily. So this is pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, and pretty good. You guys are already on the south end, so I'll just take you a little bit south. We were able to pull off picking up another builder, as we recall. Barbarian builder went over. It was probably a builder that was taken from Non-Medal or somewhere similar. Since I don't see. Okay, it had to have been somewhere different because I don't see any naval tiles that they have improved. So that tells me that those probably from either Non-Medal or from Brazil. So this is good. We have secured by a good margin Non-Medal and trigger inspiration for a reformed church. That's not going to happen because that particular one requires us to, and yes, we're going to hold on to these envoys. We want to do some more exploration eventually, and then potentially even consider being a suzerain of this particular city-state. This one has 8 in it, so that's not likely going to happen. But, Gaguana that has 5. We can soon pick that up. That one is train of pike and shot. Not a very terribly hard one to get. We're going to go ahead and bring this guy around. Probably we'll keep him around here. A couple Hansas would be pretty solid here. You know, chopping some of these tiles wouldn't be bad. We do have a couple reinforced tiles, so that is going to give me adjacency. I would actually like to keep that because that's going to give me the adjacency for the science here. And eventually we'll consider putting, may not be able to see it, but extra science, so rationalism. That actually would be, once I get this to +4 adjacency, this would actually be amplified. To do that, we're going to go ahead and get another harbor down, and that'll give, because of the 2 districts adjacency bonus, that'll give +1, and that'll bring it up to 4, and that'll actually make this a viable option. So that's good. Same thing with this guy here, you know, just further developing these, looking for places where we can really get more adjacency points. So we have +1, a +1, a 1, a 1, and 1. You know, lots of, you know, then there's a +4. So we'll have a couple of high yield ones, and we're going to want to amplify that advantage in little ways that we can. We're going to have him go to sleep, and go to next turn. So positioning is pretty good. You know, we'll have the option for another settler. We'll go ahead and put down probably a commercial hub just for the additional adjacency bonus here. We can also consider probably putting down instead a theater square and then starting to amp up our positioning and setup for that. We will want to go ahead and get Venetian Arsenal started, or at least just have the placement of it done, so that way we have it kind of where we want it, and we can get started on that project. Because if we can pick that up, that would actually give us a very strong naval game. We do need to be careful. She does have a small navy that she may consider picking up that particular wonder. Good, so this dude backed off. We're actually going to go ahead and rotate to the side here. And since he's full health, that may die, but I want to try to kite him over if I can help it. We will go ahead and chop that one, or that tile here. Place down our campus. Go back to the harbor, since we're going to have a ton. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially, yeah. So plenty of naval tiles for us to pick up good value off of, so that's a-okay. We're going to go ahead and buy the granary here. It's going to help boost our kind of just general tempo in the city, and also give us some housing so we don't have to worry about housing pressure. We're going to go ahead and just completely destroy that guy. Just level him off the face of the planet. Goodbye. We were working on that, don't you worry. Ah, we have met Gorgo. So, Gorgo's right here. And that is the other civ that we have not met. Yep, there's Gorgo. Perfect. So, and we are taking suzerainty away from her, so that's perfect. That's better position, because she is a science, she's a very much heavy culture city-state civilization. Surprised she's not as strong this game. Probably can go a little heavier. Let's go ahead and just eliminate that dude. And we'll just go ahead and upgrade you to a musketman, and then that way you got a bit more combat strength to work with, and we can kind of deal with this threat. A little more combat strength will just make things a little easier for us, so we don't have to worry about that pressure as much. In mines, we can go ahead and get started on the workshop. That's going to give us a lot of good yields. Let's go ahead and secure the south coast here. So we're just going to check out what's around us here. We have 100 and 100, so that's actually pretty good. That's not bad for where we are at this stage of the game, considering, you know, 20 turns ago we were way below that. Also met you. That is perfect. That's perfect. You were, what, on the far east? That's somebody. That may be Poland, I'm not sure. Actually, no, never mind. No, that's just the end of his border. So now, at this stage, we're going to back off a little bit. Position ourselves a little more defensively. We could move up here, and, you know, the pike and shot would definitely be able to do some serious damage to us. If we stay here, Problem is that we'll get trampled on, so I'd rather have him heal up, and you just go ahead, skip turn. Good, so you got done. Now, let's go ahead and consider... Let's get that south city up and running. And we'll use that settler to get this city going. I like to bring this knight up just in the chance that I need to have a little bit more protection here. Against pike and shot, it's going to be kind of tough. That's Valletta. Okay, so it's, yeah. I need to make sure that wasn't from like a free city, because if it was, I would have attacked it in a heartbeat. Perfect. So the caravel's probably going to kite towards this guy here. Caravel's going to get very quickly dispatched, so no problem. Valletta here isn't a bad thing to take. City-centered buildings and encampments can be bought with faith. Cost of purchasing ancient, medieval, and Renaissance walls are reduced, but they can only be bought with faith. So that's actually not a bad thing. You know, picking up suzerainty of that wouldn't hurt. Because what that would do is that would mean that trigger Eureka for economics, which would basically build 2 banks. In our position, we can actually do that. Instead of picking up ballistics, we're not going to really need that. We're actually going to go ahead and level off of that and go ahead and work on banking. Let's get our economy boosted up this episode. This is once we build 2 banks, that'll boost that, and then we'll be able to start picking up some good points off of that. We're a few turns away from getting nationalism, so the good thing about that is not only will we get a governor title, we'll also be getting access to more espionage and being able to combine 2 units into a corps. That's going to be really key here, because some of these units here will actually be very strong, and we'll be able to apply a good bit of pressure into certain areas. Just having a very concentralized and strong unit like those 2, you know, level 3s right here, you know, garrison, emplacement, and incendiaries, volley, arrow, storm, suppression. You know, taking 2 opposite trees, combining them together, and then the last level will be to, because this guy is very, very close. Right here, as you can see, 141 out of 150. We're very close to getting that to level 4. And what that would do is we would be able to pick up the ability to have 2 attacks per turn without, as long as we don't move. 2 attacks per turn can just do some serious damage. So that's something that we're going to utilize very much so. Have the factory being worked on. We are going to work on getting this dude here. Actually, it's going to happen fairly quickly here. We're going to go through the next few turns, kind of set up our kind of general tempo. We're going to combine, we're going to get this guy upgraded and combine him, so that way we have a couple musketmen, and just they'll be a pretty strong naval, or not naval unit, but just pretty strong melee unit. You are about to go poof. Gold per turn. See, that's another 18 gold per turn. Like, that's boosting up our economy the way we need it. That will be difficult for us to deal with. We're going to want to go ahead and get these guys back, because that's going to hurt a lot. Get you ready to break off. You're going to cancel your movement. Okay, so university is done here. That's going to give us even more tempo. We have the option to build a couple of power plants, one in the south, one in the north. We want to be wary of the effect on global warming, though, by doing that. So what we want to do is, since we have industrialization, we're going to want to focus on this into this, you know, to that. It's going to take some time, but that'll be a very critical part of our growth. We also can take a look and see around, you know, anybody that's going to... So Brazil obviously has a ton of great merchant points that are coming in. That's also potentially partly from his unique buildings and the carnivals. What we'll do is, this is going to be really key, though. This will provide us a huge boon and also just a massive amount of potential adjacency yields. What we're going to do is consider building right here, Theater Square. because here Theater Square, and then having Taj Mahal is going to be critical. That's going to give us a very large amount of just additional air score tempo. It'll help us keep up with the other AI and just kind of be where we want to be. In the meantime, what we're going to do is, because we have an industry here, this city is going to be very critical for science. It'll be just a nice little Eastern science hub. So first things first is getting that harbor up and running. We may consider going ahead and actually buying a trader and just shipping a trader to anywhere that we have a lot of potential production in food to help this city along and help it kind of get where it needs to be. That unit's going to basically just get itself killed there. Perfect. So this guy baited himself into that position. We're going to go ahead and weaken him severely. You are going to do a little bit of damage. We'll go ahead and finish you off, promote you. That way both of you can survive, and also I can get one of you guys kind of assimilated into a core here, since we'll have a nationalism in a turn. I'm going to go ahead and just do some more rotation around here. We've got enough health, so that's the thing. We have plenty of health to work with. Also, let's take a look around this southern island. We may be able to settle a little bit more around here. There actually may be more resources that we can pick up here. So again, you know, picking up more and more of these cities, you know, 4 more cities, maybe 1 or 2 more cities here. That's going to give us, you know, a good 16, 17 cities, you know, maybe 1 more on the side there, and kind of work off of that. It'll be a good situation for us to play off of. So in that case, what we want to do is potentially bring this guy over, and let's actually go ahead and do that. So I didn't realize we just got that tile, so that's perfect. We do have access to banking. What we are going to do here is go off Taj Mahal and just work a bank for now. Just for the moment. Taj Mahal. We're the only one working on it that I can see in this part of the world, so that's okay. We're going to go on the north end, see what else is around here. So yeah, this is going to be a small little city, so that's a-okay. What we'll do is you're going to take this position here and promote. You have what, tortoise and amphibious, so we're going to go ahead and take that side tree, and to promote, since we promoted him, we're going to combine the two. We have access to another potential adjustment here. So we can adjust ourselves to get industrialist, or what we can do is probably go for grants. We have, you know, the means right now of great people here, but it's really more important that we pick up industrialist, because increase the power provided by each resource of the coal plant, power plant, or oil plant, and nuclear plant by 1, and production by 2. So that's going to be really, really beneficial for us. Just in general, that can provide us with seriously high-level bonuses. So there's no reason for us not to use that as an opportunity to grow. We're going to go ahead and take volley here, just get a little bit more combat strength. It's not going to do very much because we're an archer, but it's going to help us along. We're going to bring this guy up so that way we can help just defend this area. Again, it's best that we deal with this early. That's why we're making a conscious effort to deal with that, because the earlier we deal with that, the less of a threat that's going to have in our later gameplay. This guy, go ahead and actually take you over and probably bring you to Munster, so that way we can create a corporation. We will continue to explore the west part of the map. It'll also give us a chance to kind of see who else is around us, and also be pretty prompt with finding great people, or not great people, but other civilizations. She does want that. You know, it seems tempting, but it's actually applying for us a very nice amount of faith income, so I'm cool with us keeping that for the time being. It's a better thing for us to have in general at this stage of the game. A little bit of faith income just allows us to eventually pick up, you know, 1 or 2 great people, so it doesn't hurt to go ahead and do that. Um, this is okay. This one's okay. It'd be better used for the passive ability. Yep, so they're going to do a little bit of damage. It's not really going to do that much, so we're not in a major threatening position, so we're okay. Let's see what we have. Religious emergency. We're not involved in that, so we're okay. Gonna go ahead and just kill that guy off. Bring you over here. And just get you situated. This is going to provide some good damage here, so that's going to help us a lot. We'll be able to at least weaken them a little bit. That'll just be a little bit easier. We do have a promotion available, so what we'll do is we'll set into a promotion and we'll be okay there. Probably could have promoted him without moving him so much, but that's all right. So we'll go ahead and get another one of these going. We will bring ourselves closer to getting economics. So let's go ahead and just set ourselves a nice little course for that. Getting a corporation would be good. Provide us a nice amount of production, food and gold here. The main thing is that way we can go ahead and actually get started on doing that. And by doing that, that's going to make some of this other stuff a little easier to work on. So we're going to go ahead and set a course towards that. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and just have them go to sleep here. Just keep an eye on this area. We'll just continue to work our way around. Get closer towards promotion and kind of work from there. So Berlin, let's see, Berlin and Heidelberg both are cities which I can develop something here with these workshops. I may consider, let's see here, may consider buying a bank. A bank is 1100 gold. I'll be having a bank in 5 turns, so that'll actually get that boosted, and we'll be getting the boost from Valletta for that, so that's okay. What we want to do is probably think about a good campus location. More campuses that we have, the better. We could also consider, a theater square somewhere that would be decent. Aqueducts wouldn't hurt, like an aqueduct here, that would provide us an additional +2 on top of what we have. So that could be very powerful. There aren't that many other places that we can build that we would be able to gain good tempo. That would give us a little bit of adjacency for one city, but it wouldn't be really grand in the large scheme of things. We do want to get our production really ramped up, yes, but we do need to also get our science going. The more we get our science going, the more competitive we'll be, and then we'll be able to play off of that better. What we do want to do is we want to go ahead and potentially get the aqueduct here, and then put our campus here. That'll give us +2, and that will give us more tempo to work off of. So let's consider that as an option. You can also go closer to this, this position here, buy that, and then settle a city here. And then just go ahead and put down, something close to that here. And then just change tiles, place that over, and then we'll be okay. So the setup is pretty good so far. We have access to pretty strong amount of production right now. Our production is really going to actually be the best in the game just by our abilities, and we're making a very dedicated use of it. And that's really key because we're actually getting more of these great engineer points, and we're going to continue taking off. Enemy spy in Cologne stole the boost for combustion. So if we go all the way over, combustion here, they took that. It's a very specific route for them to take, so it's not really super threatening. They went for something that's really not that big of a deal, so that's fine. Bring you over. Just in case another unit spawns, we'll want to just go ahead and just quickly dispatch that unit. Since we have plenty of these amenities for this city, we're going to go ahead and bring you down. And actually, I may consider, I think it might be better that I go ahead and settle there. The reason being is that as much as I want to settle here and get this going up to +4, I would be able to provide myself with a larger benefit by getting this city started here, getting, the Hansa and campus going, And then, you know, what I would ideally want to do is probably go like, you know, Hansa and I almost said Theater Square and Harbor, just because this harbor would be a very strong harbor. So that'll provide us with a really good amount of tempo to grow off of in that city. Just gonna keep exploring. Up. I can see right here, Bermuda Triangle. So that's a nice little find right there. That'll provide us with some nice nice points for that. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. Okay, so since we got done with everything we needed, we can go ahead and probably build an aqueduct here. That's not going to provide us anything. Build a theater square there. That's going to only give us a little bit of points. We'll have to consider some options for that. Yeah, the yields would be okay. You know, it would be a little beneficial, but a preserve would have a very high cost and not a very high benefit. So I would rather put ourselves in a position where we can consider what we're going to need. So you are going to go ahead and work your way down south. You're going to get over here. You're just going to stay asleep for now. I'm actually going to go ahead and just pop ourselves over there. Only thing I need to be careful about is if it puts me in a random part of the map where I cannot get back home. So I'm going to take a risk here. But I do want to consider doing that because it would be a fun way to kind of just see what else is around. In this case, what we'll do is, since that's 7 turns out and we got done with our settler, we could probably go ahead and... Holy site, yeah, that's not really necessary. You know, +2 right here would be pretty good. There isn't very much, you know, that I can be producing that would be really beneficial. I mean, really the theater square is probably the best thing I could probably put in this position here. That would give me, you know, a little bit more adjacency bonus, you know, potentially, you know, in some of this stuff around here. And also if I build a wonder and a position by the hills here, that'll even get better. So I'll have to set something up in Cologne, because this city here, a diplomatic quarter would be a very safe option for us. It's already got +3, so that's good. I feel like, you know, really taking off with our culture output this game would be more of a critical aspect of our growth here. So, next turn, excuse me. So next turn, I will ship Magnus down to Cologne. That way I don't lose the pop there. And just kind of micromanaging our kind of empire here. You know, making small adjustments. So that's only going to take 4 turns, so that's pretty solid. What we're going to do is go ahead and just fortify you and promote. We can go ahead and take that. That'd be a pretty good promotion for us to pick up. We'll do that so that way we've got a really strong unit here, full health, and also going to be able to move way further. Do a little bit of damage to you. And I want to see if I can kite that dude into attacking us. Well, there's a good chance we can actually get back. So now we have an additional movement. So the thing that Bermuda Triangle does is, as we'll read here, units that enter it are teleported to an ocean far away, but naval units that do so earn the ability Mysterious Currents, +1 movement. So that's a really nice thing for us. You know, just having plenty of movement for this guy here can allow us to really do a lot. We are being very aggressive with our forward settling here. That's very much important here at this stage of the game. Because as we approach the mid to late game, you know, we are in that kind of mid-game state, so we're going to go ahead and just take care of those, you know, aspects of our growth. Unfortunately, there are not many chops or anything that we could do here. We will... Let's see, we have one more use left in this guy. We'll go ahead and get this city further boosted. We are going to... let's see here. I have 131 gold per turn. Builder is 340, so that's going to cost us 3 turns of development. By the time we get to economics here, we're actually going to be able to get that sorted out. So let's go ahead and in the meantime, since we very, very much want to have a nice kind of, setup here that's going to provide us with a ton of production. So we're going to go ahead and kind of align ourselves for that. Since we have a ton of production here, 41 production is excellent. Also, let's go ahead and get the shipyard. That's going to give us 6 more. So that's going to bring us even more, and that's really going to be a major part of our development and growth here. We can eventually pick up the lighthouse and some other stuff here that would be kind of light in priority, but would just help us. So you go ahead and do some more damage. You're going to go ahead and just finish this guy off. Go ahead and we take that. Get ourselves a little bit of our, protection here. Didn't have to lose much of anything there, and we put ourselves in a really good position. Let's go ahead and carry around the right end here. Okay, good position here. All right. So let's go ahead and let's just bring you out. Kind of explore more of the map around us. We'll keep a unit here just so that way we keep an eye on this area so it doesn't spawn another one of those. What we're going to do with these guys are we're just going to try and take them around the map, kind of explore the rest of the map for us. At least just get us those, get us the bonus for eventually completing circumnavigation of the globe, which will give us a pretty nice little net yield of points there. And here, since we know there's a potential connection point, it looks like it ends there. So we know that in this area here, we're going to want to work our way left. So Magdeburg, we got the factory done. That's perfect. That's going to provide us eventually with a good bonus here. We are going to want to go ahead and get Magnus over to Cologne. And then let's go ahead and just hold off on this for a couple turns. So let's just get that going. That glitched out. There we go. We'll work on that for a couple turns. That'll get us a little bit of production towards it. And then really once we get the city like properly going, since that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's close enough to the other cities to where we can really make good use of that. This is good. I'm gonna go ahead and set you up here. You are super close to ready, so this is beautiful. Go ahead, delete that, and get you onto that tile. Yeah. All right, everyone. I think this is a great stopping point for this episode. Thank you for your time. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and we'll keep the videos coming. All right, everyone. You all take care. SpeeDMan out.